Welcome to Exploring Foods with Smitty Foodies. Well, today is super cold. As a matter of fact, the temperature only got into the 20s today. I opened the door. I was going to go outside and I saw all that ice on the side of my car and I was like, no thank you. So, what I am getting ready to make, because I don't know why I have been craving this, is shrimp and grits. But what I'm doing is I'm making low country shrimp and grits, which I've never had before. So come on with me while we give this a try. See you in a minute. Okay, so here we go. I had to tweak this recipe a little bit because in the original recipe, let me straighten you up, they use regular grits, but I am using quick grits because I wasn't going to the store today to get any regular grits. And then they also use andouille sausage. And I've been looking for andouille sausage, and believe me, all andouille sausage is not equal. So in place of the andouille sausage, I'm going to use bacon. So here's what we're using to start our shrimp and grits. Because I'm using quick grits, I think I'm going to do this part of the recipe first, because the other part of the grits is not going to take long to get ready. But if you use the regular grits, they need to cook at least 20 to 30 minutes. So anyway, we are using onions, bell peppers, celery, garlic, and this is my shrimp that I have been marinating for 30 minutes in Cajun spice. We're going to use chicken stock, half and half, butter, Cajun pepper, Cajun seasoning, which I already put on. And for my grits, I'm not getting paid for this, but this is just the grits that I use. I use the Anthony Hamilton grits. It's Anthony Hamilton Corner Store grits. I like these. I wasn't raised on grits, so I really didn't know how to cook them. And my husband used to be the one that would cook them. But these right here, I can cook. So what we're going to do is get started on the Cajun part first before we do the grits. So see you at the stove. Okay, so what I'm going to start out with is 2 tablespoons of butter. And what I'm going to do is cook my shrimp in this so that it could get all brown. And I'm just going to set it to the side. So let's go ahead and put 1 and 2. And then I'm going to add my shrimp. And it says to cook it in batches, but since I'm not making that much, so this is not going to be a long recipe. So let's go ahead and put them in. And we want them to brown. And you can make more than what I'm making, but like I said, it's just me, so I'm just cooking a little bit. So what I'm going to do is get these to started to browning. Okay, so as you can see, my shrimp is getting nice and brown, and I'm already flipping it. And as you can see also, the seasoning, I put it on heavy because I wanted the shrimp to really take on that taste. I'm just giving them a flip. Ooh, that one looks nice. I want to bite it right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove my shrimp out of here. What I'm going to add to my pan now is my bacon. You would usually add your andouille sausage at this stage, but like I said, all andouille sausage is not equal. Okay, as you can see, my bacon is getting crispier and crispier. And I'm just giving it a stir around until all that fat has rendered out. Okay, so as you can see, my bacon is pretty rendered out. It's pretty crispy, and what I'm going to do is, using a slotted spoon, I'm just going to take it out of here and let it join its brother, the shrimp over here. Okay, so what I'm going to add in here in this bacon grease is my vegetables. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in some onions, some bell peppers, celery, and garlic. Now, if I don't use all of this, which I don't think I will, you know where it's going? In the freezer. Okay, so as you can see, they've gotten all nice and soft. Okay, so what I'm getting ready to do is sprinkle some flour on. Not a lot, just a little. Just over the vegetables. Okay, so what I'm getting ready to do, now that my flour has cooked down, I'm going to go ahead and add in some chicken stock. You can use whatever kind of stock you want. And as I said, I'm only making a little bit, so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add in my white pepper, like so. And white pepper, it's my favorite seasonings, Watkins. And this is an old one, you could tell because of the bottle. They don't even make these bottles anymore. These are the ones they make now. So you can tell I've been using this stuff for a long time. Doesn't that look good? Yowza! Sorry, I had to do that. So while this has cooked down, I'm going to go ahead and add some heavy cream. Or half and half, whatever you have. Okay, now at this point, what you want to do is taste this to make sure that you don't need to add anything else. Woo! Honey chicken chow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stir in my shrimp and my bacon. And what I'm going to do is just let this cook until it gets nice and yummy. And then we're going to start on our grits. Okay, so let's get started with our grits. Now, because I'm only making a little bit, the recipe calls for more liquid that I'm putting in, but I'm only making a little. So I'm going to use a cup of chicken broth. And then I'm going to use a cup of water. There we go. So what I'm going to do is put my top on, and I'm going to let my chicken broth and water come to a boil. Okay, so as you can see, the water has started to boil. And what I'm going to do is, because I'm only making half of the recipe, I'm going to whisk in a half a cup of grits. And these are quick grits. So these are going to cook for like 5 to 10 minutes, but you want to keep whisking them so that you don't have any lumps. Now with the ones that you cook a long time, you have to keep stirring them because they'll lump up. With these, the same thing, but they get done faster. Okay, so as you can see, my grits are starting to get thicker, and I think I'm going to let them get a little more thicker. Okay, so my grits have thickened up a little more. And what I'm going to do is to go ahead and add some cream to them, or half and half. just to give them a little creaminess, which they're pretty creamy. These are, I'm telling you, these are very, very good grits. They're Anthony Hamilton grits. And I guess he would know what he's doing. He's from the Carolinas. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in some cheese. I'm using double cheddar cheese. You can use as little as much cheese as you want. So let's go put this in. And one thing about this recipe, because you're using chicken stocks and stuff like that, you really don't need to put salt because that's salty enough. More butter to it, just to give it that And I'm going to add some white pepper. Get it open. Give it a stir. I'm gonna add just a tad bit more cheese. I like my grits nice and cheesy. How about you? How you like yours? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is get this plated up, and I'm gonna meet you at the table, and guess what? We're gonna chow down. Okay, here we are with our Cajun shrimp and grits. So, let's go ahead and give this a try. I tell you, it does look delicious. Taste. Absolutely delicious. The grits are nice and flavorful. You can taste the cheese in them. The peppers and the onions and the sauce is delicious. Let's get a taste of the shrimp. Come on, shrimp. I know you don't want to come out. Very good. You really, when you make this recipe, you need to let your shrimp marinate for 30 minutes. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Shrimp and Grits Low Country. Please make sure you read the history of this dish following this video. Have a good one. See you on the next one.